Hello friends, welcome to DM's Math and Finance. Today we'll continue with the probability chapter. In the last video we have discussed the basic concepts of probability and a few very general questions for understanding of students. Today we'll continue with that, but we'll take some previous year questions which has actually appeared in the CBSE 10th board exam before. Before that, let's discuss some of the important concepts with relation to probability. Firstly, the probability of a sure event, or you can call certain event, is always 1. The probability of an impossible event is 0. It means when an event is not going to happen, of course, its probability becomes 0 and a certain event becomes 1. The probability of an event E is a number of PE such that PE, or the probability of that event, always falls between 0 and 1. So the probability of P, we can mathematically express it as probability of P is greater than equal to 0 but less than equal to 1. So always the outcome of a event falls between 0 and 1. When an event has only one outcome, it is called elementary event. Sum of probabilities of all elementary events is always equals to 1. PE plus PE dash. PE is the event happening, probability of an event happening, plus PE dash, which is called probability of an event not happening, it always equals to 1, where the E dash stands for not E, means that event is not going to happen. Here E and E dash are called complementary events. Of course, when something is going to happen, we call it E. Then when something is not going to happen, we call it E dash, and it becomes complementary. If something, one event happens, the another doesn't happen, or if E happens, then E dash doesn't happen, and if E dash happens, then E doesn't happen. It's something like a common example. If it is going to rain, if it rains, then the probability of an event where it's not going to rain becomes 0. So PE plus PE dash equals to 1. I think you should remember all these important concepts, because sometimes in the multiple type question, the section A, these concepts usually come. Let's discuss one of the previous year question which has actually come in the CBSE board exam before. Here the question says a game consists of tossing a 2 rupee coin 3 times. Okay. 2 rupee coin with head and tail on both sides, you have to toss it 3 times. According to the rules of the game, Sasi, who is playing that game, Sasi will win the game if all the tosses give the same result, that is 3 heads or 3 tails. 3 times Sasi tosses the coin, and if all the 3 times only head comes or only tails come, then Sasi wins the game. This is the condition. Now the question says that calculate the probability that Sasi will lose the game. Means now it's an interesting question, because here it says Sasi only wins if the tosses come with 3 heads or 3 tails. 3 tosses, 3 heads or 3 tails. Yeah. But the question is asking, you have to give that answer that how Sasi will lose. It means the question is actually asking that when you toss a coin, these 3 heads or 3 tails should not come. So let's calculate this. This is a very interesting example. So all the possible, firstly, before when you read out the question, you have to first see that what are the all possible outcomes of that event. So all possible outcomes of tossing the coin for 3 times. What are those? Logically think, head, 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 it can come, head, head, tail, or head, tail, tail, or tail, head, head, or tail, tail, head, or 3 times tail, or tail, head, tail, or it's head, tail, head. If you want to experiment, you can actually do that. You can actually toss a coin 3 times and see out of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, out of this one outcome will come. If you want to see that, you can also practically see that. So here the favorable outcome is Sasi losing the game. Let's call it PE. We have already studied this concept. So here if you see, out of the total, how many outcomes? 8 outcomes. Where Sasi is winning, Sasi can win if only it says give the same result. There is 3 heads or 3 tails. How many times 3 head or 3 tails are coming? 1 H H H, here, 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 tail, tail, tail. So 1 time head, head, head is coming, and 1 time tail, tail, tail is coming. So twice Sasi is actually winning, because all the times whether head is coming 3 times or tail is coming 3 times. So Sasi is winning only 2 outcomes. So how many times Sasi is losing? Simple. There are 8 outcomes. Sasi is winning 2 times. So how many times Sasi is losing? 6 times. So what is the probability of PE? 6. The probability of favorable events, we have discussed it by total number of events. So probability of favorable outcome is how many? The Sasi is losing 6 times. Total number of outcome is 8. We can simplify it by divide by 3. So you can do it 3 by 4. Hence the required probability PE equals to 3 by 4. You have to remember that there are many tricky questions which are coming in the CBSE board exam, which actually evaluate the conceptual clarity of students. So don't try to mug up the whole thing. Probability, think logically, and you will actually score very high. In the next video, we'll take some of the difficult problems on the probability side. Not difficult, some of the problems which are little tricky, we'll discuss those. And in the meantime, it's always better if you remember the important concepts governing the probability. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your patient hearing. If you like the video, then kindly like it and subscribe it, and give your feedback which chapter you want us to come up with, for if you have any kind of doubts. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. Bye bye.